Okay. Is it your turn? Yeah. All right, sorry for our delay. I'll call the meeting to order. All three commissioners are present. The meeting was properly posted on March 16th. District 3 will lead us in the prayer and pledge.
Mr. Barnes, will you come up and lead us in the prayer and pledge, please?
Mr. Barnes, have you led our prayer and pledge more than anyone else here?
It's a pleasure. Let's pray. Father God, we're again thankful for the opportunity to come together, Lord, and to deliberate and to do your business, Lord. We know all authority is established by you, and we just pray that you give guidance to the commissioners, their staffs, all the elected officials, and other members here at county and state and beyond. Lord, we just look to you for guidance and thank you for the opportunities to serve, and just pray that you would guide the discussion today, that it be honoring to you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United
States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Barnes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of both March 6th and 10th?
I'll move approval.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Chantel?
Good morning. First recommendation is for CW 23022-2. This is for fresh produce. This is our grocery bid. The majority of that bid is purchased off a state contract, but fresh produce, we're able to find some benefits still bidding this out. I'm recommending award to Go Fresh Produce. This was our only bid. Many vendors are on state contract, but we're able to find a price break, being able to go with somebody local. So I'm recommending award to the lowest bid per line item to Go Fresh Produce.
I'll move we approve awarding the bid to Go Fresh Produce.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 3 is for P23372-04. This is for Crime Violence Intervention Program for JJC. This is one of the ARPA awarded programs, and due to the nature of the project, Juvenile and my office, we talked a lot and we decided that putting out an RFQ was the best way to go, just to make sure as many people were aware of the opportunity. They only received one proposal from Divine Wisdom Task, and after a couple of weeks reviewing the proposal and meeting with Juvenile, they are recommending award to Divine Wisdom Task for these services, and they'll negotiate a contract and that'll come to you later.
Okay. I will move that we award the bid to Divine Wisdom, the task program.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 4 is the blanket report. There are changes. I gave you each a copy. I think due to the timing of the meeting, we just had a couple that came in late. The last 3 requisitions on your sheet are in addition to what was attached, and that's 123-05153, 5185, 5186. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to speak on that.
I'll move approval of our blanket purchase orders, including the 3 new ones that you mentioned. I don't know if we need to actually receive this into the record.
Yes.
That's fine.
Okay, I'll move we receive this updated document with the 3 that you mentioned.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. And then I'll move that we approve the blanket, including this new document.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 5 is the standard P-card statement. We now have 2 active cards, or this statement captures 2 active cards. As you all designated 13 total purchase card holders, and you'll see more card holder activity as we go along. So routine in nature.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, Amber?
Good morning. We have one bid this morning. It's P23940-10, and it's for the third floor east end renovation. CBR Commercial Contracting. Jim Cooley Construction LLC. And Globe Construction Company. And that concludes the bids.
I'll move they be tabulated and returned to us.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is there a motion to approve the claims?
I'll move we approve our claims.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any individual consideration on the consent docket? If not, is there a motion to take it as a whole?
I'll move we approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I have a series of items today. Number 26 is to make Jessica Clayton the primary on P&G and Brandy Mertens now as the alternate. Thanks to Brandy for helping us through the transition of onboarding Jessica. I'll move the item.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
This is settling, this is part of the pharmaceutical thing.
I think, is Matt here? Matt, are you here? Okay, no.
Jessica, you want to speak to, I think she has pretty much the.
Okay.
Yeah, Matt was going to join us today, but this is regarding settling the claim so that way we can, for the pending litigation for opioid, and this includes the Trevo, Walmart, several pharmaceuticals. And then the next item on the agenda is to be able to sign the document once this one's approved.
Okay. I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And as she mentioned, the next one is to designate a signature for it.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
This is to authorize Daniel Sanchez to read and upload access to ok.emgrants.com, a site used by the Department of Emergency Management.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And this is the signing of the annual agreement that we have with the Chamber for Economic Development for, in particular, they do a lot for us at Tinker. Do you have any questions or comments?
I'm trying to click on the attachment.
We've been operating without an agreement for most of this year, and this is to go ahead and get it on the agenda.
Oh, so this is for in the rears.
It is.
Yeah,
This FY.
It's the same rate as before.
okay. I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And this is an agreement with William White and Associates as an owner's rep for a number of our infrastructure projects.
Stacy, remind me, I know we took action on something similar to this in PBA last week. Is this the signing of the actual contract?
Yes, this is the actual contract for them to oversee your ARPA projects.
Okay, but last week I think we were designating maybe which projects went under their scope.
Yes.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The next item, I know there's some difference of thought about having a action plan for the state auditor's office on file, but you guys do what you want to do, but I'm submitting one for District 2. So this has been something the auditor has found and cited us for, so I'm at least providing the one for District 2. So I'll move the item.
So Just so I'm clear, is there an attachment that you're going to hand out? Because I'm not seeing. Or are you just declaring that you're going to?
Well, there should be an attachment.
Okay, so the state auditors requested that we provide information regarding that we have continuity plans as well as disaster recovery plans for the county. And so this was up for discussion in regards to how we're going to get those accomplished. The due date is the 30th. And my recommendation is that everyone submits their plans to David Barnes. So that way David Barnes can keep record of them. And David, would you like to? We finished D2s on Friday, and so we can use that as an example. But do you have anything else to add?
Just that this is an ongoing discussion. One of the emails that we received from the state auditor's office, a gentleman, Brown L., I'm not sure his name, he actually referenced a 2018 document and was requesting information about updates to that. I've not seen such a document. I don't believe that it exists. We accomplished pre-COVID is part of the problem with this whole thing, which COOP, as you all well know, is an important aspect of what we do. It was all pre-COVID, immediate pre-COVID. We did training sessions. I've got lists of people who went through. We had planning teams developed under each elected official. There was a lot of effort and a lot of momentum was starting to be gained. And then we got involved in the COVID situation, and a lot of that went down. I have one somewhat formal document from the Treasurer's Office, which is about 95% IT related, and I have some succession documentation from Commissioner Bloomer's office. And other than that, as far as a cumulative plan, I don't have anything, some internal in my office. So I think the real question, at least for me, and I'm happy to be a point of contact for the county in that regard, is whether there's going to be a comprehensive plan of some form, maybe a compilation of each elected official's plan, which should obviously be a determination by each of those offices. I'm good with whatever direction we want to go. I'm going to continue to move forward with the plan for my office, and I'd be more than happy to be a point of contact for whatever that looks like when it comes about. I think part of Commissioner Davidson's question is, are those coming across the board? Is that going to be public knowledge, which can be very dicey? Just like the emergency operation plan that I have that governs a lot of stuff that is not general public. The basic plan, yes, it's on the website, but it's just a question of what direction you want to take this.
Realizing this is not apparently, it didn't make it as an attachment, so I don't
It
know.
was just up for discussion.
I'm going to do it. I'll put it on later for my official copy for the record.
And,
I don't care if anybody sees it. I mean, we're going to go to the barn.
And what was requested?
Tell
What
everybody
was
now.
request from us from Marla was that she doesn't have to have the individual plan submitted to the state. They just want to know that the chairman of the Board of County Commissioners has knowledge of what the plans are and where the employees are to go. And she said that she would be happy in order just to receive a letter in Brian with his letterhead and signature stating that he is aware of all those and what the plan is.
I'd be happy to prepare an
So it's a
overview
warm
document
fuzzy.
of plans that I received.
It's a
Stating
warm
the
fuzzy.
county, and we have this, and this,
Okay.
not specific details.
Okay.
That would be your
That
desire.
that's absolutely. You're the emergency management director. I've got all the faith in the world in you, and our sheriff back there. Is he? I mean, you guys are going to be running it during an emergency, so.
Sure. I've maintained throughout that I feel very confident that each elected official in each office has the components of the plan. Whether it's been formalized, I cannot say. But if nothing else, COVID was a 2-year-long exercise. If you don't have a lot of this by now, there could be some issues.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
I'd be happy to write an overview. Whatever your wish.
Okay. Well, then I guess my motion is that I'm going to do it and submit it to you.
You're going to do it on behalf of District 2. Is that what
Right,
you're
just
saying?
me.
Okay.
You do what you want to do.
And would it be helpful to you if each elected official, maybe in addition to the commissioners, submits you their office's plan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then you can create an overall
Yes, ma'am.
county disaster recovery plan based on that. Okay. And Jessica, did you say the auditor is it March 30th?
She said that she would just like to have something submitted by March 30th, for audit purposes.
Okay.
But I'm sure we could get that extended if
Okay.
needed be.
Okay, I'll second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, Mr. Wilkerson. Just a follow-up from Budget Board.
Yes, sir. This was approved by Budget Board last week. This just amends our current contract with Summit Consulting and expands them to be our broker for our additional Mutual of Omaha coverages. And there's no cost to the county on adding these services.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
And Ms. Kent.
Good morning. Item 34 should have been a consent item, but somehow we didn't get it in the consent file. It's just a regular approval on number 34.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It's time to recognize the March of 2023 Employees of the Month. Mr. Trumbo.
I'm pleased to introduce you to Daniel Sanchez. He is our newest engineering employee. He's been with us since November of 22. He comes to us from the University of Oklahoma. In addition to his normal duties that he's been doing in a very proficient, professional manner, Daniel just passed his engineer intern test on the first try. It's a very grueling 6-hour test where you have 110 engineering problems you have to solve. That's about 3 minutes per problem. So statistically, only about half the people pass it on the first try, and Daniel's among those that passed it on the first try. So we're very proud of him for that. Daniel also communicates well with our customers. He's always ready to help us in any way he can. He has bilingual skills that helps a lot. And he's just an accomplished young man, and we're proud to have him as part of our engineering team.
Don't go too far, you need the picture taken, please.
Rich and Dane, for your employee. Sometimes you have your own sheet.
Well, yeah, but this time I actually wrote it. Be happier with that. Good morning. I forgot how short Karen is. Not that I'm real tall. Speaking of, our employee today is Mr. Mike Miller. Mike has come, he's been with the IT department a little over a year, and that time he started as a level 1. He's managed to further his education. He completed his bachelor's degree, moved into a new role as a security analyst, which he's currently working under our other security analyst. And in that role, he's been consistently excellent with work. He has suggested new methods to keep the networks more secure. And he's impressed both Dane and I with his excellent attitude and his teamwork. Mike has been a valuable add to the team, and we couldn't be more thankful for him.
Okay. You want to move the item, then we'll go take a picture.
I'll move approval.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Oh, yes, please. That'll work best. Better.
All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, congratulations, guys.
I just saw we have Jeff Seymour here from the chamber. I didn't know if you wanted to say anything or not. I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you when we voted on your item.
Thank you for the opportunity. I just want to say thank you for the longstanding partnership that we continue with Oklahoma County and the Greater Oklahoma City Chamber and our economic foundation on many fronts, one of those being the contract that you voted for a minute ago. And I just want to say thank you for that. Essentially what that contract does is it allows us to continue to lean in into the regional aerospace economy, which continues to be one of the fastest growth clusters, not just in the region, but also in the state. I think we do a census every 4 to 5 years, and the private sector growth that continues, the public sector growth. We're excited about the B-21 and obviously your partnership to think about all things Tinker, all things FAA, but also the aerospace economy in general is greatly appreciated. So thank you for the continuance, and we look forward to continuing that partnership in the next fiscal year. So thank you so much.
Jeff, are you able to give maybe a brief update on the expansion of Tinker?
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple things are in motion. One is obviously the continuation of the conversation around the Douglas Boulevard road closure. We've appreciated the partnership with both the city of Oklahoma City and the county, the members of your collective teams on that front. We are basically waiting for some transactions to complete on the Air Force side, on the acquisition of some property on the east side of the base, which would allow us and sort of sending the signal that we are now in the right motion to continue down the path of that road closure conversation. Obviously, we want to do that in conversation with you, your teams, and the other elected and non-elected officials in the county. So all the partnership there to move those things into the right position. We're now waiting for the Air Force to complete some acquisition components. We'll come back to you to work on that piece. But essentially what that does is, and I've said this publicly in other settings, is the new B-21 bomber, new bomber campus allows us to continue to accelerate job growth on the east side of the base, specifically around composite materials and software development skills, which we know is really where we're all trying to sort of where the puck is headed in that industry. And so all things are sort of in motion, and we appreciate the continued partnership on that. We'll continue that conversation about next steps as appropriate. So hopefully that helps.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm familiar with a bunch of it because it's in my district and we've been working on the Douglas Road closure and stuff, but I don't want to take for granted that you know some of the stuff. So I've talked with Jeff about providing a tour for you and your staff, and actually for the entire budget board, since this is an investment from the county as a whole. So that'll obviously be an elective if you choose to accept the invitation, but we're working on trying to get something together where they can get you on the tram and actually go throughout the campus and show you some of the monstrosities of the big developments. I mean, it's Goliath type stuff that's happening up there. It's really impressive.
And I think we've already started sort of doing some pre-planning on that. So we'll have some things to bring back to you on that. And I'll just note on that, to your point, Commissioner Mon, that obviously the county's relationship on not just this current project, but previous projects is what we want to celebrate here. And so there's been this longstanding partnership and doing a review on things like KC-46A, BNSF property, a little bit of a tour there at the old GM plant, and then obviously looking at the east side as well. So thank you.
And obviously those have got to be separated in order to avoid Open Meetings Act. So those will be done in coordination with your schedules. So
yes, thank you.
Okay.
And the air show is coming back this year.
It is, and the Blue Angels are coming.
Yeah.
So yeah.
July.
Oh gosh, I
like
just saw the
early
date
July.
yesterday.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. They haven't had it since like 2019.
It's been a few years, I think. Yeah, pre-COVID. So we're excited to have it back.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank
Jeff.
you so much, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Okay. The next item is the MOU between the BOCC and the Jail Trust to provide IT services. Is there any?
Good morning. This is just the agreement between us and the jail trust. This is our side of it.
And it's for this current fiscal year.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nope.
I'm Jeff Ame. I'm the IT director for the jail trust. I do just want to point out, and I've spoken with Dane about this over the weekend. The number of mailboxes in attachment B, I don't believe that's consistent with our current staff, and so effectively that would cause us to have to pay double. Now, we've been working together. I just wanted on record that before you approve it, that's what you're approving. I'd like the number to be accurate before all parties approve, but I just at least wanted to bring it to everyone's attention.
So are you wanting to strike this item?
Or at least recess it until we amend it.
Well,
Well, hold on. I mean, it's a contract that's an up to amount for those
Yeah, I mean,
boxes, and we're only going to charge them for what they got.
I mean, we need to go through and audit the amount of accounts in their OU, because that's where we pulled that number from.
Okay.
Right.
And we fully agree, that's a high number, considering how many employees they actually have, but that's what's in our system, so.
Right.
Which means either we don't know that a bunch of people are gone, so we can only go with the numbers that we have. So, yeah, we're absolutely gonna sit down and audit it.
Okay,
And go through it. I don't think it should necessarily keep us from at least taking this first
Right.
step, and we can, alter it. I mean, it's not, I don't
Okay.
think it's a big deal.
because it's up to, and if you audit it and find out they have less accounts,
Right, we can adjust.
the
it.
payment amount can be
Right,
lower,
and
it
if
just
we need to
cannot be
bring it
more
back and
than.
amend it, we can bring it back and
Okay.
amend it.
Okay.
all right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye. Thank you both.
Thanks. Planning Commission. Eric, there you go.
This is just a REAP contract for District 1. They're just wanting to move forward on this project, and so ACOG was nice enough to send it to us early. The other contracts that we were awarded will come later. But they're just asking this be signed. We got to return it to them before they can move forward with beginning the project.
I will move approval since it's in District 1.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Thank you, Eric.
Okay. Randy, do you want to walk us through these policy and governance ones? You were the chair at the time.
Yes, Commissioners. Items 38, 39, and 40 all relate to premium pay that Policy and Governance has had conversations with the clerk's office as well as the consultants about establishing specific numbers related. Number 38 speaks specific to non-exempt employees, not to exceed 2.687 out of the 7.5 that was originally set aside for premium pay that commissioners had done at a previous meeting. And so 38 relates to non-exempt, 39 relates to part-time, and then 30 relates to exempt employees,
40.
all with their respective totals.
Okay. Any questions on those three items?
So if we approve these three, and this is just math, I don't expect you to do this in your head right now, but do you know how much will be left of that 7.5? How much?
Approximately $4.5 million.
Okay.
Questions? Is there a motion?
Can we take them all together?
Sure. Unless
Okay.
there's any objection. Okay.
Okay. I'll move approval of 38, 39, and 40.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
41.
So 41 is in reference to the ARPA project number 10033, the court clerk fourth floor remodel, in the amount not to exceed $1.1 million. That is the increased funding proposed. And this increased funding will come from the excess funds not allocated from the premium pay. So the $4.5 million that we said we would have left over from that, this $1.1 million will actually pull from that total.
And my position about this has been that, once the cost of this started to sprawl, that we get it back up on there for consideration for us to know, if we want to just for us to know. So this isn't like something that comes in the form of change orders later when we already know it in advance that it's likely to exceed what it originally was thought to be.
What was the original amount we put toward this project? Was it
8.7.
8.7?
Then it required the relocation of the assessor's employees, which would force the relocation of the MIS employees.
Correct.
And so that's why this has gotten to be.
So why are we relocating assessor employees?
Because I think as it stands, the fourth floor remodel, original project did not encompass that.
So we're expanding the project.
So it seems.
Okay.
Well, there was 40 assessor employees on that floor that you didn't maybe consider when you first approved the project.
Right.
They have to have somewhere to go.
So when the project was approved originally, the floor plan that was approved was for the court clerk to have the entire fourth floor. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is that there are about 40, 45 employees with the assessor's office
Right.
that also reside on the fourth floor.
It was my understanding that the 8.7 million was to remodel the fourth floor and keep everyone exactly where they were. That was my understanding.
That wasn't the plan that was approved
I don't think so.
or proposed.
That's where the confusion comes in, is who knew about the 40 employees and who didn't, and what you thought.
I mean, wouldn't the court clerk asking for the money know that there were 40 assessor employees on the floor? Okay. I would assume we would know about these 40 employees.
Unfortunately, I'm not sure why you weren't aware of that, but that's the main component of this is spreading people out. So
I thought the main component was removing asbestos.
No, they got the project.
this is an ARPA
approved
project,
by
so
ARPA for
with
social
COVID,
distancing.
the intent was to get social distancing. And so the intent was to take the whole floor. And those conversations have been ongoing for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years.
That's the beginning of the project, is what I recall. I mean, when we were discussing this in policy and governance, those were a bunch of the questions that I had, was what our square footage is, what we're taking, so on and so forth. And you realize this necessitates a third floor
Right.
action.
I'm
and
just
then-
confused why we forgot about 40 employees.
Well,
And now we're asking for more money.
well, I didn't forget about them. I just thought
Whoever
that,
asked for the 8.7 million forgot about 40 employees.
no.
No,
it
there was actually two requests through ARPA requests. The assessor had their own request for 3.4 million, which was not approved at P&G level.
Okay.
So that threw the assessor's 40 to 45 staff into the turmoil that we are now, is that we have no determination of where we were going. So whenever I came to the P&G meeting and brought that to the attention at the time, Michael Taylor was running the show, that I was told that his exact quote was, "I'm not going to be here, so you need to talk to the two people that are going to be here." So it has kind of started that whole process of where we're in this ping pong game of we're on, we're off, you're moving here, you're not moving. I can't have half of my staff with no determination of where they're going to be.
Right, I understand that.
That staff provides roughly $650 million worth of the
Right.
county's general fund budget.
You don't have to justify the
So-
importance of those staff to me.
Well, I appreciate that. I just want
Yeah.
you to know the importance of that staff, of what they do, because they do work very hard.
Right.
And the timing of that is very critical for our office because we do mailings, we have to do work with the public.
Right.
We can't just move from one location for a little while, move from another location.
Right.
All of that is just the same with your offices. If you were expected to move half of your staff, where would you go? We need to have something in
course
place
we
that
have.
says that.
ICP.
Yeah, and I believe that that's kind of the process, but like you said, I don't believe that the agreement was ever that we would come back to the fourth floor, that the court clerk's office would take that whole floor. And then that we would be going somewhere
I did not
from
know
there.
that. I did not know that the 8.7 million was so that the court clerk's office could take the entire floor. So maybe that was my mistake.
Yeah, but that's the necessity of the 1.1 million is based upon that. The configurations have to be redone for the MIS to move to floor one for a build out of a data center. Plus, it's going to take some additional money to bring that staff to the third floor because my current floor plan will not support 45 staff moving down.
Okay. So if we approve this 1.1 to get your staff the right place to go, that will leave about 3.4 million remaining from the premium pay that we didn't use, correct? If I'm doing math correctly.
Give or take, but
There's also funds that probably be freed back up later that won't be used by projects that have been sent forth and won't be fully used. So it's hard to know exactly how that's going to end up.
Right, but if we're just considering the 7.5 for premium pay that we allocated, we're only using some of that, remains 4.5, and then you're requesting 1.1, so that leaves about 3.4. It would be my preference. I mean, you all know I've voted against certain things because I felt we needed to put more money into the community applications. And last week the community portal closed, and I think we had well over 100 submissions. And I don't know the dollar amount, but I would assume it's much higher than 5 million, which we all kind of knew that was going to happen. So if we approve this additional 1.1, it would be my very strong preference that we use the remaining 3.4 toward that community portal. I realize we can't vote on item 41. The only thing we can vote on is item 41, but it would be my preference that if we approve this 1.1, that we use the remaining toward that community portal. So
well, I also think that the amounts that we're putting towards these things, we're going to find out that we're putting more in than we actually need.
Right. To be safe.
We've gotten good news about certain aspects of the fourth floor remodel project. Great news, in fact, that it's going to provide a very, very large savings. With those things, with moving not only the third floor IT, we're going to do energy savings by removing the huge air conditioners because each person is going to take their own server, and we're going to be able to do some things not only to space people out, but we're going to save more money. So whatever money that you're looking at right now, there will be more later. And we're finding that in each one of these projects. We overestimated through policy and governance for a reason, and we know that there will be more on the back end.
Right.
So
Anyway, I knew that it was going to dislocate those individuals. What I had originally thought, though, was that the original sum would satisfy it. And then, I became convinced it wasn't. So in my conversations with Mr. Warren, it was just that we needed to get this back up here for consideration. And frankly, Mr. Stein, I'd also mentioned too, just so that everyone was aware of what the true cost of this project was projected to be, so that we didn't have a bunch of shock claims come back on the rear end as in the form of change orders, which are frustrating always. And so this is just taking into consideration what the whole amount is likely to look like. And it would be great if savings could be found and it's not going to be this much, but I think we need to prepare for it to be approximately this much.
Yep.
Stacy, are you able to give an update on where all of this is with moving folks to ICB?
Yes, the plan is to move the assessor and the court clerk's people to the ICB floor, half of floor 1, all of floor 4 and 5. And we've already began some work in the way of demo and stuff to get that prepared. Once they're off the 4th floor, we'll start the asbestos this fall and get the asbestos off that floor, and then start the remodel. I believe the contract for the architect to design all this is, if it's not on here today, it'll be on here at the very next meeting.
Okay.
And so things are starting to move pretty good on the project.
it just approved the 50,000 for the demo on ICB. So that's moving. And I think the court clerk, I think you were told last week or the week before that you could start moving across to floor 4 now if you needed to.
Yeah, we got to get some IT in place, and as soon as that happens, we'll. And we're meeting weekly with facilities people, Ponder, and our IT people at the Supreme Court to make sure that we get that ball rolling so that the server relocation is not what holds it up, because that's going to be a major piece of this.
Yeah, yours is different. Yours is state, so.
Okay, is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank
I
you.
appreciate everybody's patience. I know this has been touchy. Thank you. All right, Brandy, this next one is about the cameras.
Yes, item number 42 addresses the ARPA project number 10117, the Sheriff's Department updated camera system with access control for contract tracing in the amount not to exceed $12,240 for the owner's rep fee, as well as $44,500 for the additional 6th floor expenses. Again, we propose that this increase in funding will come from the excess funds not allocated for premium pay.
Sheriff, are you able to describe what this will do now?
I assume this is, while you're walking up here, I assume this is cameras for the annex and ICB, or maybe correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. Updated cameras for.
Updated camera systems. Our camera
Okay.
system right now is obviously old and antiquated, and so as things change, as technology gets better, we have to get better with it. And so, in efforts to be able to, trace people, obviously COVID tracing and things of that nature, but to be able to keep up with people as they move throughout the building, we've had a couple threats that have really pointed out the weak points in our system, and it's our job to identify those weak points and try to, make them stronger and keep our people safe, and this is a way to do that.
Will it do it for the entire campus?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is for the courthouse too?
For courthouse. Let me get with Basin on that because
Okay.
I forgot how this is read up, but that's the way I
Okay.
believe it to be.
Okay.
Yep.
So the 6th floor wasn't taken into consideration in our original ARPA project. So our original ARPA project is the entire campus.
Yes.
And that's ICB that's here,
Right.
that's over there.
And that's a much larger amount than what's in here?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is because there was an oversight in the fact that we didn't include the 6th floor in our new camera tracing system.
Okay.
This isn't to replace them, right? This is just to upgrade the system that we have currently. This is
for
not
access control for the public defender. Yeah, I believe it's to update and
because the sticker I remember reading on a comprehensive deal was close to like $1 million if we do
The whole project
system.
for the whole campus is over $1 million. This
Right.
is just the 6th floor of this building because
Yeah.
it was under construction at the time they took the estimate.
Which includes card access for the 6th floor.
Yep.
Right?
That's what I'm
So
getting.
Commissioner Bloomer, I think there's several doors that they're gonna be putting the badge access
Oh,
on.
okay. Okay.
And that's included in this as well.
I think card access past our entry area or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
I just wanted to gauge expectations.
Okay.
That it was just this one spot. Okay.
I
Motion to
understand.
approve.
All right. Thank
If
you.
y'all have any other questions, don't
Thank
hesitate to
you.
reach out.
Second.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 43, discussing and possible action regarding ARPA project number 10046, Sheriff's Department. It is air quality and COVID-19 HVAC improvements at the Midwest City Substation in the amount not to exceed $21,340 for owner's rep fee. Again, this increased funding is proposed to come from the excess funds not allocated for premium pay.
And it looks like 43, 44, and 45 are all similar items.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You want to take them as a whole?
Okay. I'll move approval of 43, 44, 45.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 46 discusses the ARPA project number 10074, detention center roof replacement in the amount not to exceed $480,000 from subrecipient detention center to ARPA fund 1415 capital projects. This item is contingent upon BOCC and jail trust lease amendment and amendment of the ARPA subrecipient agreement between BOCC and the Oklahoma County Criminal Justice Authority.
So we haven't approved an agreement, ARPA agreement between the county and the jail trust. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
We have that, I believe, do we have that on here, Jessica?
Okay.
Item number 40, wait, was it 49?
Okay. First, we may need to go back because number 45 was not included in those 20% increases for the owner's rep. Did we include 45 in that approval?
Yeah.
Okay, so can we back up a little bit?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Okay, so just to start from where we were at 42, 43, and 44 are the 20% owner rep fee increases.
They've been approved.
Oh, okay. We took 42 separately, and then we mistakenly took 43 through 45.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
I just want to get us
Okay. So
And
back
then-
to 45.
Okay, 45 is discussion and possible action regarding recommendation for policy and governance recommending the movement of ARPA project number 10073 detention center HVAC in the amount of $2,100,000 and the subrecipient detention center to ARPA fund capital projects and increase funding for the project by $420,000 for owner's rep fee. This item is contingent upon the BOCC and jail trust lease agreement and agreement of ARPA subrecipient agreement between the Board of County Commissioners and Oklahoma County Criminal Justice Authority. So for this item on number 45, as well as 46 and 47, and 48, they required, during policy and governance, we discussed moving, rather than taking those funds and moving them to PBA, to the jail trust, and them not having the capital in order to pay for those because they were higher risk ahead of time and being reimbursed. We are suggesting that they are moved to BOCC to be able to pay for those outright as needed. Those three items that were on that presentation of funds that were requested and applied for, those are the funds that we felt like were improvements to the building since the Board of County Commissioner owns the jail. Any questions?
No, that explained it perfectly. So we're the owners.
Correct.
We're the landlords, and we're going to take care of the maintenance in our building.
Right.
Yes.
Perfect.
And so we have to amend the lease first in order to be able to do that. And then we will make those repairs.
Perfect.
So just to follow the right procedure, should we have the lease amended first and the ARPA subrecipient agreement first before we approve these funds?
So there won't be a subrecipient agreement, correct?
These items say that there will.
So there is a subrecipient amendment taking these 4 items off of the subrecipient agreement for the jail trust.
Okay.
For the Criminal Justice Authority. We removed those 4 items, which leaves 1 item for them to still take care of with ARPA funds, which is their IT system.
Right.
Okay. And
I felt like since we needed to make sure that this was approved in order to move forward,
right,
then we would revise that subrecipient agreement first, and then we would work on getting the jail trust lease amended
okay.
once approval.
To where
And
these capital
once
projects will be
right,
taken care of by us.
right. And we're because we have William White and Associates as our owner's rep, and now we're taking care of these ourselves, we need to add in these owner's rep fees.
Yes.
Okay, correct. But whether we approve these or not, we still have to amend our lease agreement with the jail trust.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And Miles, who serves on the jail trust, as well as the others that I've visited with, felt like that this was a really great way in order for us to be able to make those repairs with those ARPA funds.
And I know I've talked about this with Accenture. Some of these projects they categorized as, I think, high risk was the word they used for reasons related to the ARPA guidelines. By us doing these repairs and not transferring the money to the trust, does that lower the risk?
Yes, that would be a
Okay.
low risk.
Okay,
In fact,
that is correct.
I think it was, I don't recall if it was Don or Joe or Brandy who asked the question, or it might have been just how many situations like this exist in the country. And they said that we were the only one that they could find, and that we were the only one that they were aware of for a high risk situation in that exact type of situation.
Okay.
So this removes
Okay.
all that.
Well, and I know that just to further clarify, I know that you said the jail trust doesn't have the cash to front fund these. And that was our Accenture's recommendation was because they're high risk, they need to front fund them and then get reimbursed. And that was not going to work for the jail trust.
That's
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
So that would be items 46, 47, 48, and 49.
Okay.
Plus 45.
Plus 45, yes.
And so,
This actually transfers the money back.
right, to us.
It changes pots.
Right.
Never left us.
Right.
To be fair, so it never left us. It
Right.
changes pots. We will control it. We will control
Right.
with our owner's rep these projects.
Which is great. Can I assume that an updated lease agreement will come to the next BOCC?
Well, the money won't go with the way that the item's written. The money won't go until, because it's contingent upon.
Okay.
So.
And I can add that to the next
Okay,
BOCC
thank
meeting.
you. Okay, I'm done with my questions.
Okay, so 45 was included in the last motion, correct, Sharon?
Okay.
It was. Well, it's already approved then. So I don't think it matters. We're doing all this stuff simultaneous.
Right.
So item 46.
Okay, I'll move approval of 46, 47, 48, and 49. Because they're similar items, I'll move approval.
Is that all right with you?
Yes. Second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you for those explanations,
Thank you.
Brandy and Jessica. Thank you. Purchasing.
You guys have any questions about the item?
No, this is a great one. So this is actually in my district, and it's a structurally deficient bridge that qualifies for the BIL. And Nikki alerted us to this opportunity, and this allows us to submit. So I will happily make a motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thanks for your work, Nikki.
Thank you.
Sheriff.
So Sheriff's Office wanted to do a resolution naming the second full week in April National Telecommunicator Week. If I could please read the resolution, I'd greatly appreciate it. Go for it. Okay. Whereas in 1991, congressional resolution named the second full week of April of every year National Telecommunicator Week, and whereas emergencies can occur at any time or any place and require the assistance of police, fire, or emergency medical services, and whereas 911 is the hotline for help for people in emergency situations, and the 911 call taker's voice is the first assurance that help is on the way. And whereas 911 professionals regularly meet in challenges of extremely stressful situations with calmness and efficiency. And whereas when an emergency occurs, the prompt response of police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is critical to the protection of life and preservation of property. And whereas the safety of these emergency responders is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from citizens who telephone the 911 communication center. And whereas public safety dispatchers are the heart of public safety, providing assistance before any other emergency services arrive on scene. And whereas public safety dispatchers are a vital link for our emergency responders by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them information, and ensuring their safety. And whereas public safety dispatchers contribute substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, treatment of injuries and illnesses on a daily basis. And whereas each dispatcher has exhibited compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of his or her daily job duties. Now therefore, let it be resolved that the County of Oklahoma County declares the week of April 9th through 15th, 2023 to be National Telecommunicator Week in honor of the men and women whose diligence and professionalism keep our region's citizens and emergency responders safe.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I'll move approval.
Beautifully read.
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Treasurer?
It's getting old. It's not near as much fun as a lot of people think it is. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Item number 52, and there is a Scribner's error on number 52, where it says to be deposited into the general fund. It will, any interest earned will stay with that fund. And this, of course, is the first 45 million. Yes, anyway, on the jail bonds. So with that Scribner's error correction, would ask for your approval on it.
Say that Scribner's error one more time.
Okay, where it says to be deposited into the general fund,
Yes.
it should say to be deposited into the fund. In other words, any interest will stay with the jail bonds.
Okay. I'll move approval of item 2 with that correction.
Second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And item 53 is we are actually not adding a bank. It's the bank has changed names. So the Sovereign Bank, they're now Sovereign Bank. This was originally the bank that Jerry Barnett started on Douglas back many years ago, and then it became somebody else, and now Sovereign. So anyway, we're just adding Sovereign. So if we have some money we want to put in there, we can.
As long as it's not Silicon.
It's what?
As long as it's not Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Motion to
No,
approve.
we've already lost that money. So
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any
no,
commissioner?
we didn't have county money in there. No.
Okay, good. Thank you for clarifying that.
That's it.
Commissioner comments, District 1,
No comments.
3.
Continued prayers for Deputy McCain's
Oh,
family.
yeah. Can we have you come give an update on him? Maybe that's my commissioner comments, is having you come give an update.
Deputy Jeremy McCain is still fighting for his life right now. They have him stable, trying to wean him off of sedation medicines and get him to wake up. So that's where we're at now. You know, time in between an incident is something you pray for. So we've gotten this far, and hopefully we keep going.
Does his family have any sort of like GoFundMe, or how can we help the family?
They do have a GoFundMe in the name of Deputy Jeremy McCain. I can get that to you. I don't know how they title it, but I do have it, and I know it's available.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Happy birthday last week.
Thank you.
Any new business? And before we go into executive session, are there any citizens who wish to speak?
Hi, Matt Sill. I'm one of the lawyers working with you all in the opioid litigation. I was not for executive session today, but I know you all were approving a lot of settlement items, and so I just wanted to answer any questions and do the best I can publicly to explain what it is that's happening with those opioid settlements. And I'm happy to come back when I'm officially on executive session or whatever's best for you all. I just don't want anyone thinking you're signing a bunch of documents without a full explanation. So that's why I'm here.
You have any questions?
No. Do we need to? I mean, we could reopen the item. We approved it before you got here.
No, and I appreciate that, and it's definitely the right decision. I just wanted everyone to have all the details, and so wanted to be here for questions just in case you all had them, and I can come back the soonest executive session you can get me on. I'm happy to always be here.
Well, I'm privy because you're in communication with Jessica, so and he says Dawn's keeping him up to date, so unless she does, we're good.
Well, thank you so much. And one quick story, since you mentioned Silicon Valley Bank, our opioid funds were actually with Western Alliance Bank, whose stock dropped about 85%. So we had to rush everything out of there related to this case. Everything is under control right now, but it does hit pretty close to home. What's going on there? But thanks again for approving everything. I think you guys will be really pleased with these settlements. I want to give a shout out to Attorney General Drummond. If y'all can see the switch from a 25% to the counties and cities going up to 75% to the cities and counties is tremendous. And what we're calling the 25% of the state's money is actually going to be a fund available to you all as well. I mean, it's a great deal. I'll shut up for the day. Thanks so much, and happy to always talk to y'all.
All right, any other citizens to speak?
Motion to enter into executive session.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Don, are you coming up or are you? Turn to regular session.
Yes. So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
On items 57 through 58, I think we can take one motion.
Yeah, with regard to items 57, 58, and 59, Commissioner, I would move we authorize the DA up to $2,500 for the purpose of depositions, not definitions, and additionally proceed as discussed.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any other citizens to be heard? If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
There we go. You gotta change me. That's good. You ready for us now?
Should I have a login button? Oh, down there. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll call the PBA together. Commissioners Davidson and Mon are present. A notice of the meeting was properly posted on March 16th. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of both March 6th and March 10th?
So
Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Is there a motion to approve the claims?
First, do it for the claim.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Item 3 and 4, you want to move to receive both reported fees?
Motion to receive.
Both?
Yes, 3 and 4.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Some parking contracts.
Motion to approve.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Monroe.
Item 6 is an appropriation of carryover funds in the amount of $300. Occasionally, the county clerk will true up accounts, and that's what this is all about. It'll happen several times a year.
Motion to approve.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 7 is an agreement to open the parking garages for the OKC Memorial Run on April 29th from 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. and April 30th from 4:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. We've historically done this since its inception.
Motion to approve.
Second, and they're very appreciative. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 8 is an agreement between William White and Associates for the PBA owner's representative for ARPA funds in the amount of $696,980.
Motion to approve.
Second, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Item 9 is to enter an agreement with Alfred Hall Monahan Morris LLC and the PBA for architectural design services for the Krause Center, subject to encumbrance of funds. PBA Krause Capital, $508,637. Also, ARPA funds in the amount of $610,363. This is for architectural services for Krause.
Motion to approve.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Monroe. Sorry again for the loss of your father.
Thank you.
Any citizens wishing to speak? Seeing none, any board comments? If not, any new business? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So.
Second, all in favor, say aye. Aye.